Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very creamy and utterly delicious raspberry ripple milkshake. So welcome back to the game, and previously we got some inmates in our northern cell block A here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inmates in total, and well, we did bring them in as death row because this was supposed to be a 100% death row facility. However, we did anticipate that maybe 1 or 2 inmates would pass the death row appeal. But, well, as we can see, we have prisoner Duncan Bailey here, who has had their sentence reduced from death row to basically life at 72 years. We have Simon Trish, who has a sentence of 86 years. And then finally, Scott Bolton here, who has, well, 131 years to serve. Well, yeah, that's... that means that I have a problem. Well, I've got several problems: mental, physical, societal, economical, but we're not going to get into that. That's beyond the scope of this video. What I mean is that basically, although I did expect a couple of people to go through the death row appeal, I didn't expect it to be this early, which means that the 1 and then 2 dormitories that were planned, well, I haven't got built, and that means that we have a couple of inmates, well, actually half of the inmates, who are just basically sitting around in death row where they shouldn't be. So the priority for this episode is to finish off this cell block here. I'm actually going to close... actually, do I need to close our intake? I don't think I do, actually. I want to bring more inmates in because we are still losing money, and I do have a bit of a loan in terms of... well, it's 100,000 generic units of currency. The maximum we can take is 250, but I don't want to start taking out loan after loan after loan and basically dig ourselves into a hole that we can't get out of. But yes, the plan is to finish off this cell block. In fact, I'm going to unpause it and let the game crack on with that, and then we will prioritise building up here where we've got a dormitory. One thing I will do, however, and this is what someone commented on, I think it's actually a great idea, is that we build a canteen. And this is top section up here, and you can see where we've got our patrols here. I'm just going to remove some of those and go for a dog handler and then a guard like so. I don't know if I've got the same over here. Yes, I have. I'll have to redo that, but I'm going to do it. I'll do it later on once we've actually, yeah, once we've got that built, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a nightmare here. Let me go there, and then I'll change this up because, yeah, like I say, we will have some issues probably if I right click on that one. Yes, so that's this area here. It's a canteen now, and I think that's a great idea. Like I say, someone did suggest it. We can go for a small serving table. We can go for a table small and then a bench small. And then what I'll do is I'll prioritize that, and that means that the food, instead of being made all the way over in this canteen and then brought over, it's going to be made in the kitchen here, then brought over to 1, 2, and then the 3rd canteen down the bottom, and then it will be delivered directly to these inmates here, which means it should be a lot more efficient. If I just double check the food distribution, we can see that yes, that is being distributed, so that's okay. It will probably mean that I have to put some sort of doors in and around this area here. Well, that's fine. We will have a look at that, but it's going to be based on how this one fares up. We do have Ed Ward, actually, who has passed, well, I say passed, it depends on how you look at it. They've went through the death row inmate appeals, and they've had their... basically the percentage dropped to the state allowed level, which means that we can go through the execution process. We might do that later on. My priority, however, is, as I said, finishing off this cell block. I'll put in the new canteen, which you can see is being fulfilled over here, and then we're going to build up the top. So let me just go to max speed and let the workers crack on. We do have to have some utilities, which I will run in, so let's just do that now. So 1, 2, and then 3, and then we just got a couple of little... Oh, I've put one there. I should be able to right click because it's in... Yeah, it's in the logistics menu. It shouldn't interfere with this bit here. And obviously there will be some wiring to put in, so we've got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... and then 7, so that should suffice, and that is now built. Okay, what I'll do then is I'll go to canteen, and I'll place this in here, and then obviously we do need to just zoom in here. We're going to go with a, go to type in canteen, and it's a serving table small. It is a table small down there, and then a bench small, and then we'll prioritize the building of that, and then that'll be fine. And I'm just going to see what the food distribution is like. I do think it will pretty much glitch glitch out because of this is all basically one big wing, you understand. So let's see, although food distribution, oh, it is distributing there, so it might move over. And yeah, it might change that up. And oh, look at that. So we've got these inmates that were just hanging around here. Okay, we better crack on with what I mentioned about building up at this area here. So this is going to be a wall death row, and then another wall death row. And then I will put in here, I think I will put in I'll put in staff doors actually, because there's no reason not to for the time being, and then we'll get that built. Our prisoners want more free time, I'm sure they do. We do have the tracker pilot scheme that we could probably go ahead and do actually now, because these inmates here are sort of hanging around. Do I want to bring in more inmates? I mean, ideally, how many do we do? But not doing very well. Water, we sort of fix that. Yeah, ideally, we want to obviously have this area sorted first. In fact, yes, I think I will go to intake and then close that, just so there's not any issues with stuff being brought in, any backlog that could jam the whole facility up. I don't want to go down that route. What I do want to go down in terms of routing is, let's go for intelligence, tracker menu, and go for 1 and 2 and then 3, and I'll assign all of those for tracking belts, and we might have those brought over, because now if I go to shared on that, they will hopefully be able to be escorted. Let's change all of this to shared, and let's see if these can move over. Like I say, I'm just waiting for those to be brought. Looks like they're being searched. Actually, one thing I will do is go to patrols here, and we'll set this up. So it's remove dog patrols, it's remove the guards, it's remove the blue patrols. So we'll assign doggos, we'll assign guardingtons, and then that should be fine. And the bottom one should be okay as well. So yes, we are waiting to give these guys tracking belts. I don't think it's going to work. This is now being built, which is fine. What I'll do is go to doors and to a large jail door. I'll also go to wiring and a door servo, although we almost certainly won't need that, because, well, they're not going to leave here. So dormitories, the dormitory is going to go like so. And I don't know exactly how big I need to make these, but we are going to go with bunk beds, and I'm going to place in the bunk beds, say 1, 2, 3. That should suffice for now. I'm just going to do the absolute bare minimum, you understand. Toilets you want as far away from here as possible, so I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with 6. And just for the sake of making it look a little bit better, I'm going to do that. And then on top of that, we're going to have drains. And then also we're going to have the shower heads there as well. So that is basically the sort of technically done level for this thing. I'm just going to put in I'm not going to put the wiring down there because we don't need it just yet. This will run up to... Don't really need to run it that far, but let's just get it done. And then there we are. So that is all of that done. Let me go to wiring and connections, and then we're going to go with the door control system, which is there. And then what happens is we gain 20 grand advanced payment. Because of what? Why have I got 20 grand? Oh, that's because we went over the cap because of the dormitory. Okay, that's actually good. So, in terms of deployment then, I'm going to change these all to death row, as they should be, like that. And that one, and that one, and that... Why is that closed off? That's going to go to max sec, like that. So those guys should be escorted now. As I said, we're still having some problems with people being brought over. Give tracking belt. Yeah. It's going to be lockdown permanent, lockdown permanent, and lockdown permanent. And also, it appears to be another guy here, lockdown permanent. So all of the inmates that are not death row should now go into the dormitory as lockdown permanent. Although, as we can see, we've got a bit of an issue because these guys are not moving. There are no free cells. I'm fairly confident there is. Let me double check in the, where is it, prisoners here. So max sec, and then if I go over to the dormitory, we can see that is set to maximum sec, not super max, just max. So that is fine. If we go over to Where is it? Actually, what I'll do is I'll change that to max sec as well, and that means that we should have this all set up. Although I do need a canteen, don't I? What I can probably do is go with canteen. There is no minimum size, so I'm just going to go with a 3x2. And that should suffice for now in that corner. I say for now, it's going to be a temporary permanent solution, you understand. It's a serving table small. And actually, do I want a small one? Or do I want to go with a large table? No, I think I'm going to go with table. Where is it? And a bench and a bench. Actually, should I go with a large table? Let's go with a serving table like that. And then I'm going to go with a canteen. And then it's going to be that. Okay, so that should be fine now. And that means that people should be able to go there. These guys, there's so much issues going on over there, isn't there? I think those guys are just basically locked in because of this whole tracking thing. So cancel. I'll leave it like that. I mean, can I just say you go there? You there. Oh, you there. I mean, they're being brought over. This might work. Okay. There's no lights in this corridor, by the way, so I'm going to put a couple of lights in here. There we are. So I'm just going to double check. We should have maximum security 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is fine. So it should be lockdown permanent for every single one of these guys. Lockdown permanent. Lockdown permanent. I don't know which ones I've clicked on, so I'm just going to go down lockdown permanent because they're always going to stay in here. That's the idea. Actually, that's not the idea. That means, I mean, even if we do lockdown permanent in here, then they can't leave anywhere because the rest of it's all set up as it should be. But what I mean is that yeah, we just want to have them permanently there, and then what we can do is we can remove them as and when we need to. So you can, where is it? I don't think it's in here. It's not in there. It is in, it'll be in, where will it be? It'll be in, is it in security? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to unpause it while they crack on with that one. Some of these guys, yeah, you can remove prisoners, you see. So the idea is that we spend money on removing some prisoners because we don't want them in here. So we'll say remove, and then they're going to go. Okay, there we are. So that's fine, but the rest of them should be locked down permanent. Enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. Oh, is that because of the canteen? That is because of the canteen. Okay, we have an issue there then. What am I going to do about that one? I'm going to have to make a canteen on the right, aren't I? I'm going to have a separate canteen. That's going to be a bit annoying to deal with. Okay, well I might as well go ahead and fix it. So I'm going to move the I'm going to have to move the bed. So let's just say, why can I not there we go. Dismantle, and dismantle. So we'll do all of that. I should have actually just went to objects here and go to dismantle from here. So dismantle all of those, and then I'll build on the right hand side the canteen for that one. So there is the dormitory. The canteen, we will put in the serving table, which will go in that corner. We'll put in a table, and then we'll put in the bench either side like that, and then there will be a canteen designation, which will be that, and then there will be in some sort of wall, which will be that, which is going to go over the lighting because typical, and then doors will be a standard door there. So that should be fine. That should register now. Obviously we will prioritize the building of that one, and I'll put in the beds again. So 1, 2, and then 3. And then that's now in. I'm going to put in some... actually, I don't need to put in any more lighting. That should also now be set to max sec only. And it means that we have... Is that not no longer surrounded? Is it because that is just a standard door? Is that it's the standard door? Almost certainly. Dismantle. Let's go with a door of a jail door. There. Let's see if that actually works. So enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. I don't think these little bits here should have affected that. But apparently it has. Really? Dormitory. All of that. Oh, because I think it causes that little bit there. So if I dismantle that again and then prioritise the removal of it. Probably a little faff on this one, isn't it? There we go. And build that. Prioritise. See, now it's obviously giving us the error. Put that in there. It's now fixed. Okay. Whew. Got there in the end. Right. So what I'm going to do is go to intake and to all available, which is going to be, oh my good grief, a lot of inmates. All of these guys, then we need to, it says let's give a prisoner tracking belt. What I'll do is I will do that, and hopefully they will be able to be escorted over there. I don't think they will, but whatever, we'll do our best. So because these guys are permanently in this area, I need to look after their needs. So a couple of things straight away, a couple of the obvious ones is we're going to go with a couple of phone booths, which is going to go there. I don't think I need a camera, but maybe one there would be a good idea. It's always good to have a camera. I'll shove that in there. We will put in some entertainment. So I don't think we need... Do we need more bunk beds? I'm going to put in another 2 just in case, because it's always best to overdo it than underdo it. Even though we are going to have obviously a lot down the bottom, I do feel like what's going to eventually happen is we're just going to get totally swamped by the amount of the amount of sort of high risk inmates we have. Let me go ahead and check out room quality. So it says bookshelf for 4 prisoners, chairs, or we can just do chairs, so that is fine. So we're going to go chair, chair, and chair. We're going to have bookshelves, and the bookshelf is going to go like basically at the bottom of the beds like that. That'll be all right. And then it also wants some sort of windows, so I'm going to put a window at the end of each one like that, so that should be good there. So we've got entertainment, we've got library stuff, so we've got literature. We do need some prayer mats and some gym mats. So I'm going to put the gym mats at the bottom there. I'm going to put the prayer mats in and around here like that, like a little sort of carpet that goes around. And let's just see what other things that we need. Oh, we've also got the phones as well. So needs-wise, let me just put it to normal speed here. Bladder, bowels, and sleep, yes. Food, safety, fine. Hygiene, yeah, that's all in. Exercise, sort of. Family, sort of. Recreation, yes. Comfort environment, privacy, yes. Clothing, spirituality, literature. That's basically what you need at bare minimum. At the absolute bare minimum, that is what is required. So that's what we'll have for the time being. We have got in, obviously, some more inmates here, all of them death row. So if we check that out, we can see that, yeah, we have Stokel, strong, tough, fearless. Yeah, a lot on this list here. The daily cash flow is... It's better, but it's still in the negative, which is suboptimal, to say the least. Let me just max speed this out and see how we get on. Like I say, I can't really... I can actually go ahead now, actually, and reduce our loan. There we go. We're at positive daily cash flow. The idea is to get ourselves to a positive daily cash flow and look after these needs. I said I'd put these on permanent punishments. I can probably not... I can probably stop that, actually. End punishment. And end punishment there, because you can only really go down here anyway in this canteen, which is, yeah, we don't actually need that canteen, truth be told, anymore. I can probably remove that now, because if I go to our logistics and food distribution, we can see that those are all fine, although this is a problem. You can see the distribution is not working here, so we do need some sort of door system, which I thought might be the case, but I was sort of holding off on doing it. So we will have 3 separate wings here. What have I got in there? Remote door, black. So we're going to do the same thing. So it is in where is it? Doors and remote door black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that is correct, but we'll see how that one goes. In fact, that's going to be a problem, because I won't be able to open these doors fully, actually. Some of these doors They won't. Oh no, no, we will be able to actuate them. There we go. That is fine. The wiring is going to be a bit of a nightmare though. So door control system, and it is. I'm going to wait for them all to be placed in because otherwise I'm just going to forget exactly where they all are. In fact, what's happening there is someone's trying to get to that door to install it, and they can't because the door is actually closed, which is one of the problems of putting in these things. And then when you right-click, it cancels the door because of course it does. Not much you can really do about that, I'm afraid, other than lock open and do it that way. And I'll change that up. I'll lock that open, and then lock that open, and then at least the guys can install this stuff. So that is now done, and then we can check out, where is it, utilities, wiring, connections, and then door control system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do feel like this may be a bit overexerted, but we'll see how we get on. Right, so phone taps, I will connect that up as well. So 1, 2, and for the CCTV, we've got that in there. So how many have we got? How many connections? Total number of connections. Oh, that's door control system. Total number of connections is 6, so it'll be 7. And then I'll need another one for up here and then other places as well. Okay, we'll get on with that later on. So that is all in. Oh, we do have Simon Trish, murdered by prisoner. I'm guessing Richard Mathwani here. And the guards coming in to stop them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some patrols. In fact, I won't even set up patrols. I'm going to go, I'm going to say, deployment. I want dog handlers, armed guards. Oh no, it's going to go in here. Okay, that's a bit of a nightmare. Even though that's got a door servo there. Okay, it's going to be patrols then. So it's going to be a patrol of this. And I know they're in there. I understand that. So I'll assign a guard there. Assign an armed guard. And I'll assign a guard. Like that. And then I'm going to probably get a couple more guards as well. Okay. It is currently sleep time. And as we can see... Hang on a wait. That's a bit of an issue. What's happened there? Let me go to logistics and food distribution. That's assigned there and not there. What's happened there? Let me guess. That's changed up. Yes, death row. All that should be death row. There we go. That's better. Right. If we see, we do have Ed Ward, who is on 0% likelihood of clemency. I'm going to go with cell block B, by the way. And well, I guess we can find. Where is Ed Ward? There is Ed Ward. Death row. Okay. Schedule execution. So, execution initiated. Initiate prison-wide lockdown. So all of the doors will be closed. I don't know why that door is permanently open. I'll also test the facility. So this is testing the electrical connections and such, and make sure we've got all of the power required. I don't know why that is locked open. Don't like that is the case either. Let's see if I'll initiate the wire. Send all prisoners back to their cells. It's on 75%. 87. Why is it like that? Oh, I think I know what's happened. We'll have some of these inmates who are needing solitary. I'm going to cancel that. Policy. That one. Match with death row. Okay. We might not have time to do this anymore. But we'll see. 87%. So where is the 1 or 2 inmates then? I do not know. Give prisoner tracking belt. It's the tracking belt thing again. Bolton and Bailey. Those are the ones I need to fix. Intelligence, tracking menu. Bolton. Bailey. I mean, I've got everything set up. They're not drones, you know, they need free time to keep them going. So you say. Yeah, it says give prisoner tracking belt. Okay. That's going to be a problem. If I change that to max sec only. Inactive. Guard required to operate monitor. Is it that I haven't wired it up or something? It should be fine. Do you have to wire the router up? There's a wire there. And someone's on the tracking monitor now. I still don't think they're going to move over. How curious. I'm going to... Oh. Right. I'm going to have the game crash. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. There's obviously something going wrong with... well, let's be honest. It could be the fact that we have sort of hacked the save to allow for permanent death row intake. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it there. A bit of a shorter episode than normal, however, needs must. And, well, frankly, if I don't fix this issue, this will be the last time we see this facility. But I'm going to spend some effort in trying to fix this thing and getting them tracking belt things sorted. At least we have our... every cloud and all that. At least we have more capacity. We are not on a massive negative in terms of our budget. And one of the great things as well is obviously we've got our dormitory as well. So next episode, if there is one, you'll be the first to know. We'll go ahead and continue on. If not, then, well, you will get an update. How curious. But we do have all of the processes in place, so hopefully if we can sort this, we'll be all right. Either way, it's been a bit of a laying the track in front of the train episode, as the saying goes, trying to fix all of the issues, which we knew was going to be eventful at the start of the series. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings. Whew, okay, let's see if I can fix this.